Security. You must be scoring.
I think we were running full things, and you guys were up in the air. So you were there, and I was here, and I was setting up the ground and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, this lady from security equipment comes over to me and she says, just look right there. That homeless man out in the shed there. He's wearing this jacket, had all his hair and everything, and he had his earbuds in and he was talking on the phone. There's this homeless man out there wandering around just talking to himself.
Thank you for so good. It was just seeing if you guys want to do it.
Test. Good.
I'm glad that you put it as
That's all. One of my deputies said, right, before we start,
oh, actually,
I just need you to see the proof.
Everyone's all Friday afternoon.
Sorry.
That's what the new bloke in your office. This is the new bloke. The university of London. Yeah. Everyone's completely I've got a holy shit on the back of my chair at home. So you just, as soon as you got a Zoom meeting, you put
There you go.
Hey, mate. How are you, bro?
And he goes, yeah, yeah. I said, no,
Yes.
Yeah, they're looking at that. Yeah, it's not to say that.
No.
why would you be saying that?
I don't know about it, I know, I think it was an organization, and I did that
Top 10.
Yes, they just don't have to basically, it's just a vibe.
It's quite aggressive.
Yeah, and that's just the Yes.
Does anyone want to coffee or you? Easy, like I was saying, I heard food showing the lead up to Aggregate. Oh, yeah, just like this, that was really good. Yeah, so really cool, obviously. I guess the I don't know what stuff.
Oh yeah, they're crazy in terms of the.
Free weekend.
Yeah, so eight's gonna up and through the side. Yeah, and then putting it in a live stream on and then you're gonna put it on the other. Well, that's right. Well, that seems weird, so thank you. I think that could be the one that you decide, yeah, on behalf of the club, you know, thank you for, you know, coach, assistant coach, team manager, blah, blah, blah. Takes a lot of parents to make it work. Yeah, yeah. Like I know he's going to do 7 times. He's not going to be 7 times. Yeah. I thought like last night.
Yeah, Mark, you are run there. And yeah. So 13 to come in and space at the middle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just be aware right now. Just be aware right now. We're live stream. I'm live stream. Yeah. So that's good.
I'll be nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, how you doing?
See, I'm good, man. How are you?
Good.
You're
You're at the end. You're first.
Yes, I should be first.
And if we go from front to back, that's the order that they appear
Nice.
on the screen. So you've got batting and bowling, club champion, and then coaches.
I'll look at it twice.
And
So with this one, it was a vote. Is that like a
that's
points?
that's totally calculated on the point. So points to run quicker, to run tackles, and all that. Is this tea or time? Just, I know that I have to walk on the own lane. Yep. So, everybody else is talent or ball. They're easy.
Yeah.
Or to run.
That's all garage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's strange garage.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, you know, actually, Richard, you know how we were saying, oh, no, don't worry. I sent a message on that yesterday, when we started about 10:45. So otherwise I was going to say, didn't you? So I think it's all, and I think this is junior always through. It's like 200 something.
Just rewind back from the live stream.
I've always been saying this the whole club. And then I thought, yeah. But, yeah, so we're going to third, then 14. And we've also those middle in after 14. So third and 14 is going to have to wait again for the Voges middle. Then after the Voges middle, third and 14. So, yeah, I've been, I've had 40 something, 40 pages, and, 2.5 240 plus contacts. That's right. And to the point where, so in the farm schools, the tough ones, because young people have the not.
What do you mean? It's 10:30. I'm gonna stop that.
Exactly the same. So if you're like, I'm supposed to use one of the jobs, the principal there is.
Oh, we're closing that door as soon as we've started.
Your principal is.
I'll check that out. So then I'll just straight over and say,
Yes,
I'm bringing the players.
it's one idea. So yesterday, and then
13 only.
because otherwise it's the always in. I had to yell about this. I would want to think that staff outages, everything. So last weekend I had 13 cases of and I recently said, contact tracing and contacting people and all that. It's not really helpful. So, it's, we're going okay. And my staff are really happy, which is good. But we said right from the start of the year, I gave teachers extra planning time and that sort of stuff at the start of the year before COVID hit.
Yeah.
So instead of getting 5 hours a week, they get 6 or whatever. So now when they get 3 or 4, they're okay with that. Yeah. And then if we've got some spare relief around or something, I can claim that. I can't even get that that class. No. But I do it, it's like, you prioritize, because the staff well-being. If I start to lose staff because they feel overworked and all that sort of stuff, then the end is down the spiral, you just can't find work. So, are you going to do this afternoon?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Control. Come sit up front.
On the chairs.
I'm sitting next to my wife.
Yeah, front two guys, front two guys. Yeah, parents, if you can use the next couple of rows, that'd be fine. You ready, Ricky? Okay, thanks everyone. We'll get started. For those of you who don't know me, Mark Brooks, I'm one of the junior directors this year, and I introduced Richard as well over on the side. This certainly isn't how we normally do our trophy presentations. And as you could imagine, things are a little bit different than what they normally are. So I'd like, first of all the players, can you turn around and wave at the camera at the back there? And wave at any of your friends or parents from your teams your team that can't make it today, who are out there on YouTube land. I'm not really sure what YouTube land is, but it's going out live stream today. So thanks, Will, for making that happen for us. What we had to do, because of the situation at the moment, is work with what the rules are about how many people we can have in a room at a time. And then balance that with a responsible way for us to be able to present our trophies and everything at the end of the year. Because we want to be able to recognise those players who have done a fantastic job throughout the season. So what we've come up with is, rather than wait until pre-season to present this season's trophies, is what we've got today. So I hope that you can understand that, you know, it's not how we normally go, but we're preparing for a normal sort of trophy presentation for next year. Before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge the country that we're meeting on today. And in the spirit of reconciliation, the Melville Cricket Club acknowledges the traditional custodians of the country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today, and a special mention to the Voges people of Noongar nations, whose land we're meeting on today. We're going to keep this short and sharp and sweet, okay? At the end of the 13's presentations, you guys will have the opportunity to just go out into the Tompkins room out there, call it a green room, okay, while we do the 14's presentations, and then we'll invite you guys back in for the Adam Voges medal. But for the 13's presentations, I'll call up Neil Hansey, who is the coach for this year, to present those.
Thanks, Brooksy. Just on behalf of Glenn, Mark and myself, appreciate all the support from the parents this year and the boys, who were just fantastic. They've got a great competitive spirit, and we saw that in quite a few games that were close, and without that competitive spirit, you don't win close games. And that close to finals, and we've got good level of cricket into all the boys. So we balanced the selections, and the development games are very handy, and I can just see the trajectory of the boys doing this year, which is fantastic. So we pretty much sought out our agenda at the start of the year, and we're able to deliver on that, which was fantastic. So respect to all the boys, their commitment to training, listening, learning, camaraderie, teamwork was just first class. So I think we had a fantastic year. From where we were at the start of the year to where we finished, there was a quantum leap, which was fantastic. So on to the awards, and just thanks to Mark and Glenn as well. I mean, it's a long day. Like, footy coaches have got it easy, a couple of hours, they're done. Cricket coaches, we're there for quite a deal of the day. So the support I had, you can't do this job on your own, and the support I had from Glenn and Mark was first class. So thanks to those two gents in particular. On to the batting award. So at the start of the year, we're getting to know the boys, and we're trying to get them into certain roles. And there was a young left-hander who had a nice straight bat, had a good temperament, and covered his off stump. And we thought it'd be great for him to open the batting. And he had a fantastic first year at the club. For Ned Ritchie, 137 runs at 22.83, won the batting, aggregate, and average. Well done, Ned.
You can take your masks off for a photo.
Yeah.
Okay, take them right off.
Awesome. Just squeeze up, guys. Thanks.
Well done, mate. Good stuff. It's a great year. You should be very proud, Ned. Well done, mate. On to the bowling award. Look, I think we bowled as a unit very well. We talked about bowling in partnerships, and sometimes one or two players might get a few wickets, but it results from pressure from the other end. And you look at the economy rates of all the bowlers, they're all 3 to 3.5. So everyone did their job at keeping it tight, and that means that someone benefits from that because that they get more wickets than, say, the other boys. So it creates a team environment for someone to get these awards, particularly with the bowling. And so the bowling, I thought, was really good. I think Aidan McHugh, that Fremantle game, and he kept putting the ball on a 5-cent piece. The Benson boys just consistently bowling that off-stump line. Flynn opening the bowling. You know, this is the way you attack the game, and you attack the task of bowling. I thought was first class. And then you got Drew and on coming in bowling some handy spin as well. So everyone contributed with the bowling. We bowled in partnerships, and we tried to keep things as tight as we could. And we did a very good job of that this year. The bowling award this year, probably no surprises. He also won the association award. And the variety that Callum has at such a young age to be able to bowl wrong-uns, traditional wrist spinner, pretty much a flipper as well. So he's got a very, very bright future. The winner of the bowling aggregate and average is Callum Herbert, 17 wickets. So that was an average of 12.8, which is just outstanding. Well done, Callum. So the 13s, we have a Cricket of the Year award. So that's runs per wicket, per run, per catch, per run out. So it really does help if you're an all-rounder. And one thing that the winner did is he took every part of his game, because cricket's not just being good at one thing. I think you've got to be pretty good at least two things, if not three. And the hard work he puts into not only his bowling, but batting. He always wants to get as much exposure as he can with the bat. His fielding's been fantastic. He's got good hands. He's got a few run-outs. And the game awareness he has out in the field is very, very good for an under-13 player. So the Cricket of the Year for the under-13s with 338 points is Callum Herbert. Want to get Matt? Another photo?
Yeah, no, why not?
To charge you $10 a photo.
No, charge the parents $10.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Good stuff. Last award, so the Coaches Award, I could give this to any one of 17 boys, because I base this around the attitude, willingness to learn, willing to listen, doing a few extra things to become a better person, a better cricketer. Because our mandate is good people first, good cricketer second. And look, all 17 boys have got that attitude, their camaraderie, their willingness to help each other. Someone's had a tough day out in the field. The boys get around each other. So it's a very, very tough decision. And I thought that the award for someone who epitomises that week in, week out, and he also had some fantastic performances throughout the year. He's the Mark Waugh of batting. I think he makes batting look easier than it actually is, and he always scores at 50 or 60 runs per 100 balls. But he's also a great mate to all the boys and the coaches for the under-13s. That's Tigmar. Congratulations.
Okay, can you hear me all right? How are you stooped so low, Hans? It's my job just to say thank you. I know we've done presentations after the last game. Thanks, Bill, for organising that. So that's what this slot would normally be, but I guess it gives me a chance just to say a couple of things. So obviously the entry-level squad at our club is very important. It's sort of like the future of the club and the future of our culture too. So, you know, what Neil was just talking about then with the Coaches Award, that's really about living those values, commitment, mateship, and resilience. Okay, and we at the club, you know, we regard that very highly. So that's a prestigious award, Ty. Well done. So, you know, I think that having this strong entry level squad is really important. So the off-field people are very important too. So Neil is a club legend, a life member, a first-grade premiership player. So you're in the best of hands. You've been in the best of hands, and you know, we're extremely grateful that that's the sort of person we can attract to do that head coach role with the 13s. So thanks, Neil, for putting your hand up. Mark Malaspina and Glenn Waldock, good cricket backgrounds as well as assistants. So, you know, we found two good people to help Neil out there. So thank you guys. And Brad stepped up. You'd been around for a year, had a look, see how it all worked, and following the footsteps. Certainly, you know, very early on, my front runner for manager of the year. And you know, you're in touch with me, asked me a lot of questions, and said you want to do a good job, which you did. You're really diligent about it, and you know, that's the sort of thing I suppose we're trying to breed amongst the parent group, is to say, well, come in, have a look, see what we're doing. If you like what we're doing, put your hand up, and that's what you've done, Brad. So I guess, you know, that leads into, if anyone else likes what we've been doing, feel free to express your interest, because, you know, I think we got up here a while ago, talked about the, you know, the welcome event, our values and so on, and we had a terrific, probably the best ever response to our welcome event. And, you know, I think that's, you know, if you can sort of, if you feel that you know, we're on the right track, we're certainly keen to sort of keep that going. And if you feel you can make a contribution along those lines, then by all means, put your hand up.
We'll find a role.
Yeah, we will. So it has been an outstanding parent group in the under 13s this year. So really supportive, and like I said, I think everyone sort of bought into the values, you know, and that goes a massive way to helping reinforce those values with the players. And you can see, you know, like with this player group, that we have a very aligned bunch of boys, a terrific group of mates, a very resilient set of characters, and certainly highly committed. And we look forward to a really bright future for the club as these guys develop. So that's my thank you. We'll move on to the next awards. I'll pass back to Mark.
Thanks, Richard. And on that topic, he's not in here at the moment, but I do want to recognise John Slater. John's the one who actually went and organised all of the development games for you guys. So normally in district cricket, you would have access to 7 games, and that would be it for the season. And this week, we had to cut back the presentation, obviously, but I was looking through a whole heap of photos in our shared drive of the under 13s, and there was one specifically at Kent Street, which was obviously a development game. But the way that it was a photo of about 11 of you all running in and really, really happy for somebody who had just taken a fantastic catch. And I think that it's really important that you continue on with that mateship, but that wouldn't have happened without John. So if you see John around, and I'm pretty sure he'll be here, if not now, then certainly throughout the morning, a thank you to him would be much appreciated. Okay, so really well done on your first season. If this was your first season at Melville, second season, boys. Looking forward to seeing you in 14s next year. You've got a lot to live up to. You've set a pretty high standard so far in your time in under 13s. What we're going to do now, Peter, this is going to be like a roly-poly sort of thing. We're going to ask everybody to just up and move out through the double doors there that Peter has, and then we're going to bring the 14s in. In about 15 minutes, we'll call you guys all back in with all the other players for the Voges medal. And then parents, after that, you'll be free to go. Okay? So thank you.
I've already said that. Right?
Beautiful.
I guess that.
Thanks, mate.
All right, really. That's all we've got.
Excellent, mate. Thank you. I bring spare. Come in, guys, down the front 2 rows of players. Guys, front 2 rows. Just in front 2 rows. Cool.
So we're going to do the quick thing on that. Yeah. Do a quick after this section.
Pete? Parents, feel free to come in and you can fill the chairs behind the boys. That's fine. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll get started. First of all, I just wanted to make the comment that getting today's trophy presentations done, we've got to sort of do a bit of a balance, and that balance is between getting it done, doing what we're allowed to do legally, and then doing what we think is responsible to do as a club. So this isn't our normal way of doing trophy presentations. And in fact, you guys have been in the club almost totally during COVID time. So we're really hoping that things open up and we can do our normal sort of trophy presentation that we would like to do from next year. So thank you very much for coming along. First thing we'll do, players, turn to the camera at the back there, please. Wave to everybody online and in YouTube land. I'll wave at them. The 13's all waved and you guys are just too cool for school. All right. What we will be doing is we're going to go through, do the 14's presentations. Then parents, for your information, we're going to be doing the Adam Voges medal after that, so that our 13's and 14's don't have to wait until the very end. And then, so after this process, you'd be able to go after that. So we'll have all of the players in. So we'll get the parents to sort of stand at the back during that time if you wanted to stay in for that part of the presentations. But we'll get on with our 14's awards. I'll ask Vids to come up as the coach and give those presentations. Vids, over to you.
Cheers. Hi, everyone. It's great to see everyone again. I've missed you guys in the last 5 weeks or so. I missed cricket in the last 2 months or so, but it's great to be here, and good luck for next year. Hope to see you all again. Get on with the presentations. All right. All right. Batting average and aggregate. Any prices to guess who that is? All right. Simon. Well done. Simon scored a 461 runs at an average of 76.83. That's unbelievable. Oh, that's nice. You got it? All right. All right. The next one's bowling average and aggregate. This one's a good one because our team had a number of really good bowling performances. Actually, we had a number of really good batting performances as well. Simon's just blown it off with all the hundreds and whatever. But bowling is 13 wickets at an average of 12.83 is Taj. All right, next one's Cricketer of the Year, and with a total of 596 points. Is that Adam Voges' points? Or?
Yeah, it's points based on runs, wickets, catches, run-outs.
All right.
Stumping.
Yeah, okay, stumpings as well. That's good. All right, Simon again. All right. Coaches Award. So this one's actually really, really good because Kels, John, Pete, even Will had a chat about this, and we had three nominees, actually 3 nominations, and surprisingly, one of them's coach, not me. I'll start from the bottom, and then I'll give the award to the person who's actually getting this. First one was John for his outstanding work with setting up development games and looking after the boys, and in my absence, as well as even when I was here, I wasn't able to get to practice on time and setting up every one of the development games. He was one of them, even though it says a coach's award. Me and Kels actually strongly felt John was actually one of the nominees. The next one was Taisei, and I don't think Taisei is here today. And the reason John and Taisei was there, John put all this effort in without even his kid being here, which is unbelievable. Taisei couldn't make any one of the games this year. And then Taisei ended up becoming every one of the Shield games, and he scored every single one of them, set up the digital scoreboard right from the start, from the first day I actually told him how to do it. So that was number 2. But the award for the coach's award goes to Shannon for limping around every single day and coming to every single session and every single game. I think we have awards for best scores. First one's an unbelievable game. It's one of the best games I've ever actually seen. And standing close up umpiring that as well. Before I give this to Will, obviously for his 142 of 150, I just want to say how have missed out, and to no fault of his or Will's actually. It was just a freak run out. But that partnership is one of the best partnerships I've ever seen. So anyway, for 142 for 150, great innings. All right, I know who the next one is. All right, for 166 of 111 balls against South Perth, Simon. Not out as well. All right, same game, 131 against 110, Taj.
And Pete, I know you wanted to come forward and say a couple of thank yous.
Thanks, Mark. Just quite quickly, I want to thank, on behalf of all the parents and all the boys, the coaching team. Incredible job of supporting them as sports people, but also as people throughout the season, teaching them how to manage the ups and downs of sport, and that will hold them in great stead for life. So we have a few thank yous from the group. First is for John. John, as has already been mentioned, does an incredible amount of work behind the scenes, organising all the development games, and it really has meant that all the boys have had lots of opportunities to develop during the season. I'm going to do a very quick recording of all the boys just saying thanks, John, and then I'll text that to him. Okay, so just.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Cool. I'll take that to him. Thank you, and we'll get that to him. Vid, we have something here for you as well. Thank you so much for your time. You obviously don't have a son in the team, so it's a huge commitment. You're a busy guy, and you have a wife and a job, and we really appreciate all the input you've had for the boys. Kells, again, devoting so much time to numerous teams. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers, mate.
And Vid was obviously away for part of the season to visit family who he hadn't been able to see for a long period of time and was locked out of WA. And we're very fortunate to have Will, where is he, jump in and support the boys. Super enthusiastic and really helpful and dedicated for that period of time. Really appreciate that, Will, and we've got something here for you as well. Thanks to all the families. The parents are just a terrific group. Really made my job so easy to coordinate things. And I look forward to seeing you all hopefully again next year.
Not so fast, Pete. I'd like you to come up. I'd like to say thanks to all that Pete's done throughout the year, and it's always great having Pete, someone like Pete who gives up his time to run the team, organise everything, and help us deal with the opposition on occasion. So thank you very much, Pete.
And I think it's been mentioned a few times there, but I would also like to pass on my thanks to John. In under 13s and 14s, you only really get 7 games. So it's hard to be able to get through big squads and get lots of kids, lots of games. So to have access to, I think you guys had 10 development games that you had available this year, which really gives you those experiences on turf, the ability to be able to play with your teammates, be able to go out there and learn what it's like playing district cricket. And I hope that that stands all of you in really good stead moving forward into 15s for next year. I look at the faces here, and it's half of our 15 squad towards the end of the season. So great job, boys. Thank you, parents, for your time. We're going to do a little bit of a move around here. Okay, so what we're going to ask is all of the adults to move to the back. We're going to ask you guys as 14s to leave enough room in the front 2 rows for the 13s. Okay, and we're going to bring the 13s into the front 2 rows. So if you move back a couple of rows. Use that 3rd row first. Fill the 3rd row first. That's it. Good. Fill the 3rd row first all the way along. Guys, over here as well. Can we fill those 4 over there, please, guys? Thank you. 13s coming to the front 2 rows, please. Okay, thanks everyone. First of all, welcome to our 15s and 17s and 15s and 17s parents who we haven't had in here yet today. We've decided to move the Adam Voges medal to the middle of our presentation so that we can, our 13s and 14s are then able to leave if that's what they would like to do, rather than having everybody hang around for too long. And we thought that we would only have everybody in the room for a short period of time, rather than everybody here for the whole time. We felt that was more responsible to do that. So the Adam Voges medal, for those of you who don't realise, at the end of each game, the coaches are asked to present 1, 2 and 3 votes to the 3 best players on the ground. The players that not only perform the best, but also demonstrate our values throughout the game as well. So it's a hard task for them sometimes when the team does very, very well. And there's some instances where you've got players who've done amazing things in a game and don't get 3 votes. And similarly, coaches, when the team maybe has a down day, sometimes it's hard finding votes. But they go through and they do those. There are some players, obviously, who play 2 age groups. That gives them double the opportunity to be able to achieve votes for the Adam Voges medal. So we're not going to go through the whole count, but this is an opportunity, and we feel it's important having the whole of the player group here to be able to see who the other players are If you're under 13s, the players that are in under 17s and maybe moving on to senior cricket. And it's a way for us to demonstrate the mateship that exists within our club and one of our core values. The idea of having a look and taking some pride in your mates doing well. So you might, when we go through some of these final games for the year, you'll think back and you'll go, hey, that was an awesome effort by one of my teammates in that particular game. That's great that they picked up 2 votes there, or they picked up a vote for what it was that we were doing. So it's not only recognising the best, but it's also recognising our values along the way. So, no further ado. We're not going to go through every game, but at the end of October, we had the leaderboard here, and I hope that if you're at the back and you have poor eyesight, I'll read them for you. Simon Budge had 8 points, Tom Warwalk 5, and Declan Power 5. Number of players there on 3, Flynn Lewis, Will McAvoy, Ollie Kelly, Will Hussey, Drew Hicks. And then 2 votes, Lachlan Benson, Alex Redmile, Mitchell Brooks, Griffin Collins, and 1 to Lachlan Strawn, Tyg Ma, Finlay Yo, Matt BC, Tom Varda, and Tarana Malawarachi. So, move forward to the end of November. This isn't like the Brownlow count, okay? I'm not going to count every round. And we see there Simon has gone out in front on 18 votes with Tom on 10, Declan on 9, Ben Hallam has gone up to 9, Jack Brooks on 9. And I'll give you guys the opportunity to go through and see your name up there perhaps. That's all of the players with 3 votes or more at the end of November. And then, Richard, we move through to the middle of January. And in the middle of January, we had Simon Budge on 22 votes, playing 14s and 15s. Tom Warwork on 20. Declan Power on 14 and had missed some games due to PSA. Jack Brooks on 12. Will Hussey on 10. And going down, and we're showing everybody up to 5 votes at that particular point in time. So if you have a look up there, it's still very, very close at the top. But it's great to see so many different names up on the board. So, Richard, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the under-15s and under-17s round versus Perth on the 29th of January. In under-15s, we had 1 vote go to Lachlan Strawn for 15 not out and 1 for 29. We had 2 votes go to Caleb Rogerson for 2 for 28 off 9 overs, and 3 votes to Jackson Pantel for 31. Well done to those guys. I'll give them a clap. Let's have some atmosphere. And in the 17s, Presley Campbell got 1 vote for 30 runs off 54 balls. Matt Beckett-Cooper, 2 votes for 37. And Joseph Kelly, 3 votes for 39. So well done to those guys. And so we get to our leaderboard at the end of January, and we have no change there at the top, but Jackson moving up with 8 votes. We go to the next round, and this we have our 13s and 14s playing on the 6th of February against Willetton, and the 13s game was abandoned, but votes were still given. So 1 vote went to Drew Hughes for 1 for 8 off 3 overs. 2 votes to Blake Hansey, 1 for 9 off 6 overs, and 3 votes went to Hayden Malaspina, 1 for 4 off 4 overs, with 1 catch, a run out and a stumping. Well done to those boys. And our 14s won on Duckworth Lewis. First game I've seen in juniors, won on Duckworth Lewis. 1 vote went to Will McAvoy for 1 for 12 off 5 overs. 2 votes went to Josh Kelly for 16 runs off 33. It was a hard day to score runs. And 3 votes to Alex Redmile, 34 off 98 balls. Well done to those boys. We moved to our 15s and 17s. They played on that weekend against Claremont Nedlands. In the 15s, 1 vote went to Ben Hallam for 25. 2 votes went to Taj Longmuir for 5 for 10 off 4 overs. Yeah, 2 votes for 5 for 10. And 3 votes went to Simon Budge, 120 not out off 65 balls. And in the 17s that day, for the 17s, that was the day we were finished by 9:30. We rolled Claremont Nedlands for 34 and then got the 35 none down. So 1 vote went to Cam Rusling, 3 for 13 off his 4 overs. 2 votes went to Jack Brooks, 5 catches, a run out and 15 not out off 15 balls. And Tom Varda got the 3 votes, 4 for 12 off 4 overs and 17 not out. Well done to those guys. And I'm not showing you the leaderboard anymore. Next round, we had the 13th of February. I am about to show you the leaderboard. And we see Simon's gone out to 25, 5 in front of Tom, Declan and Jack on 14. So well done to those boys. And now I'm going to turn the page and we're not showing you the leaderboard anymore. So we go to the next round, which is the 13th of February. And our under 13s and 14s were playing against Perth. 1 vote in the 13s went to Drew Hughes for 10 runs and 1 for 16. 2 votes went to Om Patel for 47 off 96 balls and 1 for 14. And 3 votes went to Callum Herbert for 3 for 14 off 8 overs. In the 14s, 1 vote went to Mitchell Atkinson, 2 catches, a run out and 17 runs. 2 votes went to Taj Longmuir, 3 for 22 off 8 overs. And 3 votes went to Simon Budge, 85 off 122 balls. Our 15s and 17s played South Perth this game. And in the 15s, we had 1 vote for Lachlan Strawn, 2 for 8 off 4 overs and a run out. 2 votes to Josh Kelly for 25 runs off 34 balls. And 3 votes went to Ben Hallam, 37 off 30, a catch and 2 run outs. Well done. And in our 17s, 1 vote went to Tarana Malawarachie for 23 off 33 balls. 2 votes to Cam Rusling for 2 for 8 off 2 overs. And 3 votes went to Shoma Slater, 25 off 26 and 4 for 22. And the last round was against Subi Floriat. And our 15s, we had 1 vote to Caleb Rogerson for 2 for 6. 2 votes went to Ben Hallam, 1 catch and 23 off 26 balls. And 3 votes with 32 off 21 balls and a catch was Simon Budge. And the last game for the votes in under 17s, 1 vote went to Tom Varda, 12 runs and 2 for 15. 2 votes went to Drew Hicks for 3 for 13 off 4 overs. And 3 votes to Jack Brooks, 55 off 56 balls. And so our junior Adam Voges medalist for 21-22 with 31 votes is Simon Budge. And 31 votes is a lot of votes. Now, Simon did play 20 games, but that still means that he got the equivalent of 3 votes every second game. So fantastic effort to him. And if we go through, Richard, to the final leaderboard. You see there, Simon with 31, some fantastic efforts. Like to recognise a couple of those. Tom Warwork and Declan Power, I think, missed games with PSA. We go down Callum Herbert, 9 votes, playing in under 13s only. Well done. And we go all the way down there to Tom Varda on 5 votes. So really well done to all of those players. Congratulations on your seasons. And congratulations to Simon. He follows in the footsteps of some fantastic players that have played for Melville. So well done. Okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to do another move of people, Peter. Okay. Obviously, if you would like to hang around at Tompkins or something like that, that's fine if you're in the under 13s or 14s. I think that Tompkins is open very soon or now, and they've got some specials on for lunch because we've got everybody here today. So if you'd like to take part in that, that's great. So our 13s and our 14s who haven't played under 15s this year, we'll ask you guys if you could now move out, and the rest of our players will ask you to stay behind now for the rest of the presentations. Thanks very much to our 13s and 14s. Thanks. Yeah, players move forward, please. 14s and 15s. Parents, feel free to come up and fill up the chairs from the back, that's fine. Okay, we right, Richard? Beauty. Okay, Ian Hill, coach of the 15s. Let's welcome Ian up to present the 15s award.
Okay, Roxy. Just very briefly, the season we had was very proud of the boys for making the finals. The result obviously didn't go our way. Didn't lose, but it was a really hard-fought game against the eventual premiers. But just to the resilience to overcome not only that game, we were in a lot of trouble at 6 for 60, but all through the season, because we had some adversity we didn't have Jacko for the first half of the season. I mean, we planned for the PSA boys not to be there in the second half of the season, but not certainly in the first half. We had 3 boys go down with fracture injuries, so it affected availability a lot. So the boys did really, really well to finish in 6th spot and, you know, to take the eventual premiers to a tied game. And yeah, I have to say, being 6 for 60, you could have easily thrown in the towel in that semi-final, qualifying final rather. But yeah, Kel's done, and I were really, really proud of him to really fight hard, particularly from, you know, for want of a better term, the lesser lights in the team, with all the best batsmen back in the shed and one of the other best batsmen sitting at home in isolation due to COVID. It was just very typical of their efforts through the season. Yeah, the boys should be really proud. It's the 3rd year in a row these guys have made the finals. Won 13s and runners up in the 14s last year. And with a little bit of luck, you know, I'm sure we could have gone on and you know, really played off in the grand final, because we were certainly as good as the other teams that are in there. But onto the awards. And just one thing, I mean, congratulations to Simon on winning that award. 14s and 15s. I can guarantee you he won outright in 15s as well. He polled enough votes to win just on his 15s alone. So the extra votes didn't really count against the other boys in the club. So it was a fantastic season for Simon, so well done, mate. He's obviously going to get himself up here again because he won our batting award as well. So he scored 591 runs, 42.2. Scored the most runs in the 15s competition in the Wacky comp, so an outstanding season by Simon. He took 200s and a 50 as well. And there's a real contrast between his centuries. Obviously, you heard about the 120 off 65 balls, which is a really brutal innings. But he made another well-controlled innings earlier in the season, made 113 off 139. If you add together his runs in the 14s and 15s, he made over 1,000 runs for this club this year, and more runs than anyone in the entire club, including the grades. So he had a fantastic season. He's got a great future. So I hope, looking to see bigger and better things from him in seasons to come. So batting award, Simon Budge. Bowling award. It's a bit of a remarkable story. This is this young guy's first season of district cricket. So I don't know how we managed to get him, because he doesn't live in the area. I think he goes. Not too sure we need to thank to get him down here to the trials last year. But his first season, Tom Morwork took 2 wickets at an average of 12.5, and he also topped the average aggregate in the competition as well, which is really remarkable for a guy that has never played district cricket before. Not too sure why. I think that the story I heard was he didn't think he was good enough. Well, he was certainly good enough, and he's got some ability with the bat, and he's a really great athletic fielder as well. So again, he's going to be a real asset to this club in years going forward. But I'm thinking he's got COVID. Yeah, I noticed he didn't play for Scotch yesterday. So, and he's continuing on his great form for his school as well. So very, very lucky to have him. So thanks to Jacko or Jimmy Bain, or whoever actually got him down here to the trials, because Tom had a fantastic season. So if you're watching at home, mate, well done, and yeah, good luck for next season. Cricketer of the Year. I think we've seen him up enough here already. I hope his mum and dad bought a wheelbarrow or something, because he's going to have a lot of stuff to take home tonight. So Simon Budge, 816 points. Okay, Coaches Award. We always look to try and base this on the values that we have as a club, with resilience and commitment and mateship. And to be honest, all the boys display that, and I'm sure that's the case with all the other teams as well. So it's always a pretty difficult award to decide who should get it. But having spoken to Damo and Kels, we were all pretty unanimous in this young guy. He didn't play much. He didn't play at all last season, actually. But I don't recall him missing a training session. And every session he attended, he trained really hard. He did a lot of work away from the club as well, on his fitness and working at the gym and everything like that. A very quiet young fella, doesn't say much, very, very polite. And despite smashing my door when he got to training one night, Liam Evans won this award.
Oh, sorry.
No, you didn't get any bigger wheelbarrow budgie because obviously, yes, as said before, Simon, 2 centuries in the season. That was just 2 centuries for the 15s. Obviously, made a couple in the 14s, a few for school cricket as well. So I think we lost count of how many hundreds he made this season throughout his whole season with 15s trial matches up at Lilac Hill for the state 15s and school cricket and the like. So I said before, 200s, 113 against Bayswater Morley for 139 balls, and then the brutal 120 off 65 against Claremont Netherlands.
No, you don't get that.
Some traditions. Okay. So also we had a couple of fifers through the year. Tom Wartwork, obviously at home, 5 for 20 off his 10 overs against Biddle and Guildford. So well done, Tom. And the other one's also been mentioned a bit earlier, but this was his first game in 15s. And in a T20 or 4 overs, take 5 or 10 is a pretty remarkable effort. So well done, Taj. So just finally, just a few thank yous. Certainly, first of all, to the boys for their effort and commitment and everything throughout the season. Putting up with Kels and I banging on them Tuesday, Thursday nights training and on weekends. So couldn't ask for a better bunch of boys. Always listened, always did what you asked them to do. No different to the boys I've coached in previous years. So all your boys are sitting there. Yeah, you were just as special as well. Damo and Kels, thanks for your efforts, guys. It's a very difficult job to do by yourself, and had some great help with Kels and Damo in particular. Getting to training nice and early and having everything set up by the time we got there was excellent. So your support and everything through the season was just second to none. So thanks, guys. And I said the hardest and most important job is team manager, and we had an Kim, which is where I've seen her around here, but Kim Budge. So thanks, Kim. It is the hardest job, collecting money, organising afternoon teas, scorers, ground setups, and everything like that. So team manager, have a good team manager is really, really critical. And again, blessed with have another good one this year. So really, thanks for your efforts, Kim. And finally, just to all the parents for their support every weekend of the boys in particular, but with scoring and setting up the ground and all that sort of stuff, makes our job much easier to roll up on a Saturday and just focus on getting the boys ready for their game. So I'm sure the boys appreciate it. They probably don't let you know, but it's really great to have that parental support there every weekend and supporting the lads, and it makes for an enjoyable weekend for us guys as well. So pretty much thanks. One more thanks you would like to, or acknowledgement I'd like to make too, is I think Ricardo over here, Richard Power. It's his final year as the junior director. In the time I've been back at the club, he's done an enormous amount of work to get the junior program to where it is now. With a lot of bringing in other people to help out. We've got great people like Brooksy taking over, Peter Brooks over here, John Slater, and there's too many numerous people to mention. But the way this junior program's set up now, we've got some really talented young cricketers coming through, and they look like we're going to have a lot pushing up into the grades, which is going to make the senior club, much stronger. And it's vital to have a really good junior program where you become a bit of a destination club. I think people want to come and play here and want to stay here. And a lot of that's due to the hard work that Dick and Greg Collins in particular started a few years ago with organising the whole thing, and now it's really set up. He won't be going anywhere because Matt Dick moves off to seniors, but you've got Matt coming through in the 13, so he'll still be around. But well done, mate. It's credit to you the way this junior set up and how it's ticking along quite nicely now. So well done, mate, and then enjoy your retirement.
Yep. It's great to see players really keen to come up and speak. But before I get Ben up here, I went back through the records for the junior part of the club. And as far back as I went, we didn't actually find a year where we had a player who had the sort of year that Simon had this year. And Hilly sort of alluded to the fact of, does he get a cap or something like that? Because there are ways to recognise players who achieve certain feats in the senior part of the club. But for this year, we've actually created a special award because it is the first time that I could see in the records where we did have a junior player from Melville score 1,000 runs for the year. So Simon, if you'd like to come up. 1,052 runs at 52.6 with 300s, 450s and a high score of 166. Certainly well deserved, and Whispers, I know you're around somewhere. Thank you for creating that graphic. Good on you, mate. Thank you. Ben, over to you.
I'd like to just take a moment to invite Ian, Kells and Damo up and thank them for coaching us this year and getting us down to training and helping us setting up the games and getting us into warm-ups. So.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks. Will, where are you? Take your mask off. Ollie, you were captain as well, mate. Ollie, you were captain. We actually had 3 captains this year, so Ben, Ollie, and Jacko all captain their team. So you're going to take it off. Let's take it off. Big congratulations to the 15's fantastic year. And I'd also just like to recognise Hilly. In the time that I've been in the club, I've seen Hilly around the place, and he doesn't have kids in the club. He is a past player. Extraordinary off-spinner, I think he kept on telling me. I think it was 1,000 wickets, wasn't it? Something along those lines. But the strength of the club comes from volunteers like Hilly who come back and give back to the club and do something not because they need to, but because they want to. So thanks again, Hilly, for another great season. Much appreciated. And while we speak about the people who give back and volunteer and don't need to, Adam Edwards, would you like to come up, please, do the 17s presentation? If you go from the front to the back, you're in order.
All right. First of all, I'll start off with well done, Simon. Unbelievable year, mate. You did it at school as well. Obviously, making your debut for Wesley ones, and what you did in 14s and 15s was outstanding. Obviously, I've coached you at Wesley for 3 years now, but mate, you're an unbelievable talent, and I wish you all the best for the future. So well done. To the 17s, we kind of, obviously after last year, making the grandy, we had high hopes. I think we had from the start, we had a very strong squad, which I thought it took us a bit of time to gel together. Obviously, we had a lot of under-15s from last year come up with our experienced under-17s. But I thought we definitely found we started to click later on the season. We were a little bit inconsistent at times, but I think the real reward there is our last 3 games, we went back-to-back wins, and I thought we dominated those 3 games as well, which I think as a group we can be really proud of. And then on reflection, obviously Perth winning the 17s flag, I thought when we versed them in round whatever it was, and we made a higher score for the year of 200 odd, I thought we really had that in the bag. So in terms of where we were at compared to the competition, I think we can be really proud of what we were able to achieve. And I think as a whole, we had a lot of players on and off the field contribute, and it was definitely led from the front from skipper, who Jack Brooks had an unbelievable year as a captain, mate. So well done to that. And before I get into the medals, just in case I do forget, I do want to acknowledge the under-17 boys that will be graduating from juniors. I think obviously Tom, Deck, Kells, Brooksy, Griff, Drew, Tharana, who's not here, Chanuth, who's not here. I haven't missed anyone else, I don't think. I think the unbelievable talent that we have coming through from a seniors perspective is unbelievable. And on that, we've had Woodsy play senior cricket, Jamie Lee play senior cricket, Kel's played in 2s a couple of times during the year, Decky debuted in 1s during the T20 Premier stuff. Unbelievable talent in the club. So to you boys graduating, congratulations on your junior careers. And moving to the batting aggregate and average, I think senior, he knows who he is. I think last year, Brooksy, you had the temperament to want to bat long times, but you struggled to score a bit. But I think you took your game to another level, the way that you presented yourself out there, you led from the front as a skipper, you took it to oppositions, you didn't get there with the 3 digits, but there was multiple occasions where you made unbelievable runs in crucial moments, mate. So the year you had in juniors and seniors, unbelievable. But well done, Jack Brooks, on winning the batting award. The bowling ward, aggregate and average, sorry. This player, I think, was a massive journey for him. Obviously, another senior lad in the group. Played a lot of games last year, but didn't probably bowl bulk amount of overs per games. And then obviously this year came into the fold, was an opening bowler for us. He had bowled in crucial moments throughout the year, and he found a way. He just kept fighting. There was a few games, obviously, where opposition went to him, but he kept fighting back. And I think to take 20 wickets in a season is unbelievable effort, number one. And then an average of 13.25 is also incredible. So well done to Drew Hicks winning the bowling award. Cricketer of the year, I've already spoke about him. I think, from the start of the year, I asked a lot of him. We didn't have a keeper. And I told him, can you put your hand up? Can you play that role for me? and I thought he would just do the role and do it okay, but he ended up taking that to another level, took a huge amount of catches and some ripper catches too, and then played seniors in fourth grade as a keeper bat, open bat as well. So, mate, you had an unbelievable season in juniors and an unbelievable season in seniors, and you should be really proud. So, Cricket of the Year is Jack Brooks. Then we move to the Coaches Award. For me, as Hilly said, when we reflect on the core values at the club, and we talk about mateship, commitment, resilience, I thought, looking back in terms of who could win this award, there was a lot of boys that put their hands up. I thought the season Riley Woods had was unbelievable. Your growth from early doors where I was like, geez, what are we going to do with this kid, to you coming down at the end and being unbelievable was great. Also, Prelly, I thought you had an unbelievable season, mate. You fought hard. You kept rocking up. So there's a lot of boys that definitely put their hands up. Mitch Brooks as well. Obviously, your finger midway through the season. But your commitment every single training to be there, every single game to be there. It does help that your dad does rock up. But take that aside, you were there because you wanted to be there. And you were probably making sure he was on time. So unbelievable for you as well. But someone who really stood out for me was a first year 17s who... from the first pre-season, he was enthusiastic, he was energised, he wanted to create a buzz, which for me is huge, because obviously cricket's a very demanding and time-consuming game. Someone that will stand up and try and lift the people around him when, we're training in 35-degree heat, and I've absolutely made them do a fielding session for an hour and they're struggling. Someone who stood up, and I thought the way Cam went about as an individual and as a team man really impressed me. He continued to work on his individual game. I think stats-wise, he would have loved a better season in terms of that. But the work rate he put in and the continuous effort to want it, I think really stood out for me. And then to obviously, in the last game, to be out there with the winning runs when we versed Subiaco, mate, it was a great way for you to finish the season. So Coach's Award goes to Cameron Rustling. And the last award we got is a fifer, which against Bayswater. You bought quite well this day, didn't you? Yeah. Drew Hicks, 5 for 39 off 8.5. And to finish off with a few thank yous, I think, as Hilly and probably the 14 to 13 coaches were talked about, I think one of the big strengths we have at our club is the people around the club, not only on the field, but I think off the field. We have an amazing amount of people that volunteer so much time, all the way from Richard and Mark, Brooksy. I think one that deserves to be mentioned first is obviously Greg Collins. He has been an unbelievable help for me for the last 2 seasons, but the work he's done through junior cricket over, I don't know how many years it is, so I'm not going to try and guess. Too many? Greg, you're unbelievable. You're always at training, always willing to help Duff and I out when obviously we've got our senior commitments. But I think the stuff you did this year, the stuff you did last year, and all the years before, you should be really proud of. And the club is forever in debt for your effort. So thank you, Greg. Obviously, Nick Fider managing again for another season. We got you back, luckily. Your work behind the scenes, mate, is unbelievable. You make my job very easy in terms of team lists, making sure everything's organised. Obviously, with your job, you've got to be organised, but it's unbelievable how to the point you are. So thank you for all your works as our manager this season. Then obviously to Mark on a scoring level, the way you present that book's unbelievable. And when I've got you in my ear saying how many dot balls we've had in a row, and I'm just getting angrier and angrier because you keep telling me information I don't want to know. But thank you for putting your hand up every week. And I know a few other parents helped out a couple of times, but thank you for your work, obviously, as junior director, but to put your hand up and do scoring every week, I much appreciate it. Thank you. And to the parents as well, you do a massive amount of work behind the scenes. Obviously, you only have them for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then you've got to deal with them for the rest of the week. You're a huge part of, obviously, the boys' journeys. You play a massive role with them as they mature into young adults. And I can honestly say every single boy I've enjoyed coaching, and they're all fine young men that I can assure you that they're going to go and make a massive impact on the world. So, and then also to the morning teas, obviously Linda and the rest of the parents, unbelievable. The food that was on made it very hard for me to run around on the field in the afternoon. So thank you. And the final one for me, I've left him to last, is Liam Duffield. To the point we were kind of co-coaches. His experience and the way that he sees the game was unbelievable, and it was a great asset to have this year. Obviously, coming back to the club for only a couple of years away, and he's been at the club for many years before that. It was great to have Duff on board. I know the kids definitely loved having him around because his tactics behind the game, but also the energy and the enthusiasm he brings and the banter he brings to the table. It's always good fun, but I think for us as a club to get people like Liam back into the junior coaching ranks is amazing, to be honest, because he was a massive help for me. So to you, Liam, thank you so much for your work this year, and well done also on your season as well as an individual player. So congratulations, Duff. And because I've talked for a long time, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
So just like to say a couple of things. Firstly, just like to thank Edo, Duff and Hugh just for their season. Their work definitely has not gone unnoticed, and we all really they rock you up on trainings and game days, early mornings. Really been appreciated. Nick, all behind the scenes, very much. To my boys, especially thanks for all this journey that we've had together. It's been really much appreciated. To all our past coaches, Rich, Kells, Reedy, Benaquista, Killy, Adam and Duff, we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And yeah, we got a little something for you all. So can I just get those people up for us? Thanks.
I'm good. Just quickly as well, we've got an appreciation gift for my dad, Nick, who's managed us boys the last 2 years. The work he does is much appreciated, and we thank him very much. Greg Collins, please.
Just a couple of quick things. 6 years in the making this speech, but I'll make it pretty quick. I just want to thank everyone that's involved with the junior system. We recognise the coach in that. There's a lot of parents that do things, setting up fields, searching things, morning teas, all the things that we don't talk about too much. We tend to talk about the cricket stuff a lot. So it's really important, I'll take this off. It's really important to acknowledge all the parents individually. I'm not going to nominate names. They know who they are. Some of them, especially the 17s parents, have been doing it for 5-6 years. So it's really appreciated. And without doubt, in nearly every game this year, we would see more parents at our games than probably most of the other clubs, which I think is a fantastic thing from a support view. One other thing I'll mention, that our coach, Adam Edwards, who's not coaching next year, great stuff.
But Adam just was happened to be third grade captain that also won the premiership this year. So I think congratulations on that, Adam. And just to sort of explain a bit about life of Adam, but it's a bit about life of me too. For 2 years, I've done 17s, then gone straight to thirds, fourths, whatever in the afternoon, watching Griff play with his mates. It's a long day. And I can tell you, coaching in the morning with the 17s, and I say this from the heart, that coaching the 17s is probably, in my opinion, the most difficult underage team to coach, mainly due to the unpredictability of the games. I think all the boys would realise where I'm coming from on that one. It's very changeable. Adam always had a lot of emotional. And what you could appreciate that after 3 hours or so in the morning, he used to go and play thirds a few seconds this year as well. But that's a big commitment. And, you know, emotionally, you can get to the thirds game in the afternoon and you can be pretty tired emotionally, but he also captained the third grade. So well done, Adam. So that's it for me, guys.
And everybody's stolen all of my thunder. But there are a couple of things I will recognise. There are our aim at the start of 13s is to get kids to come through our cricket program to develop quality members of our community, quality members of our cricket club to go on and play senior cricket. And the 8 boys that are leaving the 17s at the end of this year, 5 of them started in 13s, a couple have picked up 14s and so on all the way through. I don't think you'd get a finer group of young men going into our senior club for next year. So I agree the club's really, really well placed. Adam and Duff, earlier on this year, and this is an absolute fact, most of you know I'm a school principal, the shortage of teachers around is absolutely ridiculous. And it absolutely, I was within this sort of distance of giving Adam a call and saying, do you want to come and teach at my school? Now, for someone of his age and someone who spends his time basically working at Wesley and looking after residential kids there, comes down here, certainly, you know, years in terms of maturity. I think him and Duff, I think they complemented each other really well. Don't be offended, Duff, but I didn't think about employing you as a teacher. Club is so well placed to have people like them to come down and be role models for the young men that we have in our club. I also want to recognise 2 other key people that are moving on from junior cricket, and you've just heard from Greg. If you add to Greg Peter Brooks, the pair of these guys, you don't actually understand what people do until they're not there anymore. And everything from on a Thursday night going down and cleaning out our little bar area so that when the scorers come in on the Saturday, there's a place for them to score. The water is ready to go. Oh, gee, we need balls. Where do they come? Where do they need to come? Oh, we need a scoreboard. Oh, we need chairs. Oh, we need... All of these things don't mysteriously happen, but they are jobs that are done by people. Peter's been our person liaising with Tompkins for things like our trophy presentation tonight. And both of them, I hope, are going to continue being involved in the club in one way, shape or form, because the commitment and the effort that you've put towards the club's been totally recognised and appreciated. So well done to those 2 guys. How about a round of applause? And I'm also going to reiterate what Hilly said about Richard. So I don't know how many years Richard's been involved in the club. Records go back to, what did you say, 1957. So Richard played at the club. He's been involved in the club for a long period of time. He's had a plan over the past 4 or 5 years about changing the way that the junior program works.
All of you have come through the program during that time. I know that when it comes to trialling players coming from other clubs or trialling players wanting to start district cricket for the first time, we certainly have become the destination club. And we have kids who have been offered places in other clubs who just say, no, I want to wait and see whether or not I can get into Melville. We had trials on Thursday night for kids who wanted to come to the club for 15s and 17s for next year. And again, wanting to leave other district clubs because they want to come here and be part of the environment that exists here. So, Richard, congratulations on that. We'll see how successful you've been next year when you're not doing the role anymore. But certainly on behalf of the club and behalf of the junior boys, congratulations on the work you've done. And so, for everybody out there in YouTube land, is there such a thing, Will, as YouTube land? Okay, all good. Thank you to everybody who managed to turn up today. Boys, we're going to ask you to help us by stacking all of the chairs. Take a lead from Peter as to where they're going to go. You're more than welcome to hang around in the Tompkins area outside. They are putting on specials for us for today for lunch if you want to hang out there and have some lunch. Appreciate all of your input for this year. To those of you watching at home who couldn't come today because of health and safety protocols, you are a big part of the club and we hope to see you all around the club again next season. Thanks very much, everybody.